You are listening to www.interawaken.org.
I would like to ask about the preventative medicine against the future disease to us.
Yes.
Because we know our body is against the disease and immune system through chemical or electromagnetic energy, which we Oriental acupuncturists and martial arts people use, calling qi.
Yep.
And you opened the Pandora box of a subtle energy, which nobody wanted to touch. But last 1 year, I didn't hear anything about your further discovery about this subtle energy relating to our ILP, the practitioners, in order to prepare our daily practice, not only spiritual transformation, but also our daily healthy body, growth level, which Oriental medicine last 5,000 years proved this qi and Oriental energy manipulation is incredibly effective.
Yes.
And what do you have any relationship with this electromagnetic qi versus many various the kind of subtle energy what you're talking about?
Yes. Do you, sir? Do you practice?
I'm the martial arts man.
In?
I teach in the U.S. Congress martial arts.
Really? Okay. There are in the upper right quadrant, which is the concrete material energetic components, but concrete in the sense that there are gross energies, gross matter energy, subtle matter energy, causal matter energy. And these are actually existing bodies and supports in the upper right for any states and stages of consciousness in the upper left. And the traditions themselves have a generalized understanding of that each state of consciousness has a body that supports it. And so waking state of consciousness has a gross body. So when you're in the waking state, the one thing you notice is you have a gross body. In the dream state, dream consciousness is one example. It's supported by a subtle body. So when you're in the dream state, you don't have a gross body. There's no nature, there's no rocks, there's no that. There's subtle energy, light, luminosities, archetypes, and you're in a kind of a subtle energy body. And the traditions maintain, and there is empirical support for the fact, that there really is a bioenergy field that corresponds to that. It's not just subjective. So, and then the traditions continue in deep formless sleep, for example, or formless states of consciousness, there is a body supporting that. It's called the causal body. So in Vedanta, you have 3 states, 5 sheaths, or structures, pranamaya kosha, the annamaya kosha, the pranamaya kosha, the goes mano, vijnana, and anandamaya kosha. These are sheaths. Both those stages and states are supported by gross, subtle, and causal bodies. So what we do in the upper right, even though we generally draw in the upper right quadrant, if you look at the map, it has atoms, molecules, cells, triune brain, and all that. That's just the gross form of it. And we don't want to we could put etheric, astral, subtle energy, but it kind of freaks out our orthodox people. So we kind of stick with that for starters. But in so-called excerpt G, which is an excerpt from volume 2 of the Cosmos Trilogy, which you can find on Shambhala, there's a article called Towards an Integration of Subtle Energy Theories. And it goes through these 5 or 6 major subtle energies that the traditions say exist, from gross to etheric to astral to psychic, subtle, and causal energies, and then how they relate to states of consciousness. Now, what we're going to do here in the next couple of days, in continuing with what we call the 3-body workout, is just give you an experiential feel of these gross, subtle, and causal bodies. But what you're talking about, and what's just as important, is there are also other approaches to that. In the upper right, of course, you can intervene in the body in many ways. You can give it drugs. You can give it psychedelics. You can use brain-mind machines. You can induce theta states of consciousness in the brain, theta states of brain waves, which will then have a corresponding dream, subtle kind of of consciousness in the upper left. So you can do a lot of interventions in the upper right that will help bring about states of consciousness in the upper left. And acupuncture and the types of electric chi that you're talking about are really sophisticated forms of helping to align and manipulate some of these subtle energies in the upper right. This helps both the health of the gross body overall, but it helps bring forth corresponding subtle states of consciousness in the upper left. And so these are very important to work all of these together. Now, of course, you can only do so much. So we're going to give you some experiential exercises in the upper right, the three-body workout, three-body exercise. But the type of stuff you're talking about is stuff we certainly include in a broader research program. And I'm very supportive of that. And there's a lot of, I think, really, there's a whole broad, different types of approach to it, from William Tiller to Modiyama in Japan, all sorts of people working on this. But I think it's great research. I think I totally support it. And we try to work it into that overall general theoretical framework. And in terms of preventative health, that really plays an important part, because you want to keep these energies as aligned as possible. And you can help do that with electrical manipulation interventions.